Think about the people of Israel in the wilderness, right? So even though they say to Moses, we wish that you would have just left us alone and we asked you to leave us alone, why did you bring us out here to the edge of the Red Sea just so that we could die at the hands of Pharaoh? And Moses' reply, this is great, his reply is, all you have to do is be quiet and wait, and God will rescue you. Of course, the Red Sea parts, they pass through the Red Sea on dry ground, the waters come back, drowning Pharaoh's hosts, and now they sing songs. They're on their way to the Promised Land. And it's not but a few days that they find some things to complain about. What do they have to complain about next? Nothing to eat, okay? Now, when they get hungry in the wilderness, and there's no food, it's true. They're not wrong that there's no food, okay? They're wrong that God won't provide for them. He has promised to provide for them. You just have to wait and receive it from his hand. When they realize there's no food, where do their minds go first? And that food was good back there, right? And in fact, it's this vivid detail. All those leeks and onions and those pots full of meat. That's all they can think about, okay? So notice what happens. They're free from slavery, headed towards the Promised Land, and the moment it starts to get uncomfortable, their minds go straight back to where they were slaves, but where they had the things that would scratch the itches they've got. Okay? This is just how it is for us, right? Free in baptism, and the moment it gets difficult, don't our hearts return back to, well, life was a little bit easier when I didn't have to do what God said. Life was a little bit easier when I didn't encounter the suffering that goes with obedience. Life was a little bit easier when I could trust my eyes and didn't have to rely on my ears. Life was easier when I served gods that would actually do things for me right here and now when I ask them to, as opposed to this God who seems to take his sweet time in answering my prayers. The moment it gets difficult, we return to our old gods. If you want instant results, you got lots of gods to choose from. Name some of the gods you have to choose from if you want instant results. Possessions, yeah. You can get more things. All you have to do is spend some money. And look, you don't even have to spend money. You can just borrow money. You can get more things anytime you want. Your belly. My belly tells me that everything is just fine the moment I eat a chocolate bar. I eat that Snickers bar, and I got no worries in the world. That's all it takes. These gods, they're so tempting. Memory of them is so visceral. Or think about other things that people worship, like gods that dull your pain, right? So you return to the bottle, right? Because that's been your source of comfort, that you remember. The moment the going gets tough, our flesh kind of comes back to life. Our old sinful hearts they start beating again, ever so slightly, and they say, it used to be better. It used to be better when you weren't a Christian. Why don't you just indulge a little bit, right? Why don't you just grumble against God a little bit? Maybe he doesn't, in fact, love you. Maybe, in fact, all of these things that he said about you, they're not true. And you'd be better off trying to make it on your own. So it's at that moment, and at every moment, really, that repentance is the move for the Christian. These are sinful thoughts. Lord, have mercy on me.